What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. We're here with the Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas press conference. Basically, I've been looking forward to this fight for a long time. I'm just gonna, quick react to the press conference, and then I'm gonna give my breakdown of the fight and my predictions and stuff like that. So, without saying too much more, let's just get into it.
And his opponent, Yordenis Ugas.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Steven because you took just about everything I was going to say but I was going to talk about how much Yordenis Ugas deserved to fight. From him never giving up from defecting to him being brought back as an opponent, fighting Brian Perella, and just fighting his way all the way back to becoming champion.
That's true.
The night he fought Pacquiao, if they remember, I went in his locker room and I told him, I said that this stage was set for you because Errol was injured, so go out and make the best of it. Go beat Pacquiao. And that's what he did. And so I know that he's a very tough competitor.
El Salas, if you would, give a statement about the fight.
Hopefully in English.
And of course, Errol Spence Jr.
Good morning to everyone, and all the best for Errol Spencer and his trainer. Everyone here, being a long time, 6 years of hard work with your
Okay, yeah, I don't care what he's talking about. Let's move forward.
Estoy emocionado de estar aquí.
This nigga looks like DMX. All right, next.
Dallas's own, the truth, Errol Spence.
Thank you. It's good to be back. This is a real blessing for me, just to be in this position in front of y'all. I feel like most people don't really just, I feel like most people take life for granted, until they're given a second chance. And
Yo, I didn't even know why I'm laughing. All right, nah.
Just seeing, the Showtime crew and being there, and they're all saying they're happy to have me back. I'm glad to be back. I'd like to thank Jerry Jones and the Cowboys for bringing me back, and just realizing my skills and my potential, and knowing that we're gonna sell this stadium out. It's gonna be a great night, great performance for myself, and I'm gonna put a great show in front of my fans and my family, in front of the whole Cowboys organization.
Okay, so my thoughts on this fight. I'm gonna start by saying that when I saw Shawn Porter versus Yordenis Ugas years ago, I had Shawn Porter winning. Now, the only reason why I had this dude winning was because I didn't score the fight. I didn't really know who Ugas was at that time, and I was just mad. I was like scoring that shit emotional. So any rounds that were swing rounds, I just gave them shits to Shawn Porter by default. In anticipation of this fight, I watched that same fight again like last week, and I had it was a close fight. It was closer than most people say. But I had Ugas winning that fight. So technically, Ugas, this fight should have happened a while ago. Because in my opinion, Ugas was the real champ. I think that Shawn Porter did good, but he didn't do enough to kind of close it out. Because I think it really came down to the 10th or 11th round. Or really not, the 11th or 12th round. And, Shawn Porter didn't do anything, and Ugas came out, and then he pretty much sealed the deal. So it was just politics that got Shawn Porter the W that day. Stylistically, Yordenis Ugas does well, in my opinion, up against smaller opponents. I don't think Ugas would do well against somebody like Errol, who's constantly coming forward, who can switch gears. Errol can fight, close range. He can fight mid range. He can stand there and box, and he can bang. So he could do all three different things. I see Errol walking him down. I see Errol winning by decision. I don't think it's going to be a KO because, Ugas is fresh. Ugas, has been pretty active. But I just think that Ugas is not battle tested because if you look at his resume, outside of Manny Pacquiao and Shawn Porter, who has he fought? You know what I'm saying? We've seen Errol. Errol has been trialed and battle tested. So we know Errol's going to go in there and Errol's going to show out. But we haven't really seen that with Ugas. And like I said, Shawn Porter is not like, you can't use how well he did against Shawn Porter to Errol because first of all, when Ugas fought Shawn Porter, right? Ugas took the easy way out. Ugas pretty much countered Sean Porter coming in and fought him on the outside. He did kind of, walk him down to an extent where he wanted to see if Sean Porter would bang with him in the pocket, but he took the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? If you're the bigger fighter, the bigger, longer fighter, the smartest thing to do, obviously, and the easiest thing to do is to fight Sean on the outside. Like Terrence Crawford did the same thing. Terrence Crawford fought Sean on the outside. Terrence Crawford didn't sit there and bang with him. He picked him off with counter shots and stuff like that, especially as soon as he switched southpaw. Whereas Errol was like, nah, I'm going to beat Sean Porter at his own game. So who's the better fighter? The fighter that beat Sean the harder way or the fighter that beat him the easy way? So I just think that, in the early rounds, they're gonna be tit for tat, but the separation between the two is gonna show up midway. I probably say around the 6th, 7th, 8th round, you're gonna start to see the difference, and then Errol is really gonna show who's the real champ and who's not. So, I respect Ugas and everything like that, especially he's like 34, 35 years old. So to be that age, I mean, Terrence Crawford is the same age, around the same age bracket, but pretty much to be in your mid 30s and to still be active and fighting at an elite championship level is a lot to be respected for. Like even Manny Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman, and Manny Pacquiao was like 41 years old. So my prediction is Errol by decision. I think Errol is going to decisively beat Ugas. I don't feel like Ugas has any advantages to Errol whatsoever because Ugas is a long-range fighter and a counter-puncher. He's not even a boxer-puncher in my opinion. I mean, maybe technically he is. He is a boxer-puncher, but he's a guy that relies on countering and fighting on the outside, whereas Errol can do both. Like, I don't see Ugas switching gears, because if Ugas were to try to fight Errol on the inside, Errol does that. Like, that's what Errol does. Errol can do it all, but that's what he does. I don't see Ugas adjusting well to an inside, slugfest fight with Errol. He can't do that. He can't do that. I mean, in fact, in my opinion, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say that the Errol Spence versus Sean Porter fight wasn't close, which it was, but it was the knockdown that pretty much separated the two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Errol Spence by decision. So it's gonna be a man down. Yo, shout out to Errol, man. I feel like, out of all the boxers, like I feel like if you were to ask me who's my favorite boxer, it would be Errol Spence Jr. Reason why, now stylistically, my favorite boxer is actually Jamal Charlo. Stylistically, as a boxer, like I like his style the most, but Errol, inside and outside the ring, like he's my favorite boxer. His story is crazy because you're looking at a guy who got into a car accident, and then literally he could have taken like 1 to 2 tune-ups, but instead he fought a top 5 welterweight. As soon as he got back, homie was like, yo, put me in the deep waters where I belong. You can't help but respect this guy. And I feel like Ugas does not present enough to be able to take it from him. He don't. And with that said, I'll be purchasing this pay-per-view. And like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Good luck.